Bam. We're live. I wonder if I should close my texts on my computer that are coming in so that I don't look at them. Okay, closed. Oh, shit. I don't have my cell phone with me today. That's weird.
The call-in?
No, I have the call-in one. But usually I have my other cell phone here just so I can like look stuff up, or like if you start talking too much, I can start going to my Instagram.
Do you feel naked without it? Exposed without it?
Not yet. Good morning, guys. We were supposed to have Nick Rodriguez on this morning. He switched to Sunday, which is pretty awesome that we're going to have him on, and it's even more awesome that he called. Those bars behind me, I'll tell you, I'm in this room. I need to shift my desk around. I need to shift my desk around. I'm in my office, which is detached from my main house, and it's a really cool room. And I have so much just fancy stuff in here that I don't use anymore because I'm a dad instead of a filmmaker. But I put those bars on there and like some screen that like on the door that like stops bullets and all that shit. Because I don't know, when I moved here, I was like, hey, I got to protect all this shit. But the truth is I live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and no one would ever come out here. And anyway, it's just silly. It's gonna be interesting trying to get through this show today. There's my brain has just been partying all morning. I've been up for an hour. I got up at 6 a.m. and I'm just like, man, where should I start the show today? It is a live call-in show. It's just myself and Sousa this morning. Feel free to call in. Wow.
Is that a record?
I don't know. It's pretty fast. It's pretty darn fast.
Wait.
Good morning, Mars. Oh yeah, wow, that's cool. That is cool. Okay, that might be cooler than Colton Mertens. Holy cow. Hey, oh shit, I don't have him on. What's up, Mars?
It's your first day.
My first day? My first day of what?
Oh, am I on now?
Yeah, but I'm tripping on this. I just saw Graham Holmberg posted, so I'm just like savoring it. I'm not really paying attention to you. Just like
that's all right. You know, I'm used to that.
It's like some girl told me she'd date me for the first time. I'm just savoring it, knowing I'm gonna fuck it up. What? Sorry, Mars. What?
I'm just like any other guest you have on. You're just not paying attention to me.
Yeah, mostly. Oh, and that brings me to my first point. This is called the Sevan podcast, and people. It's so funny how I mean this with just all the peace and love from my heart, but it's so amazing how utterly stupid some of you are and the presuppositions you make. You say stuff like, just let there Sevan goes, interrupting the guest again. If the guest is talking, it's because they're interrupting me. This is the Sevan podcast. You guys, they're here as an accoutrement. They're like Daniel Brandon of the CrossFit Games. They're just a really nice garnish, but it has no fucking chance of winning. That's what my guests are. Sorry, Mars, I got distracted.
Did she hurt your feelings?
No, that's a compliment. That's a compliment to light a fire under her ass. Don't be this distracted. I love her.
I throw the garnish away, so I think that would hurt quite a bit.
Oh, well, I put the parsley in my mouth and just play with it. So we're different kind of men. Right. That's what I mean. I think differently. Well, this is the Sevan podcast. What?
You can unpack those oral fixations on podcast. That sounds great.
How can I help you?
I have another sad story for you, Sevan.
Okay.
You're
still a virgin.
Oh man. Well, that'd be a surprise. I have 2 kids. So I lost my job again. And believe it or not, I was working as a balloon animal maker guy, and I take the really, really hot Olico barbells and I turn them into balloon animals. And I lost my job, man. I don't know where I could find a job for a guy that turns barbells into balloon animals. It's just, I don't know where to turn. It's blowing my mind. Looking to help wanted ads in the newspaper. Nothing for a barbell guy that turns barbells into balloon animals. Nothing.
Now,
I look on Craigslist. Well, excuse me, Sevan. You're
no, go
interrupting
ahead.
the guest
I'm
again.
sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay. All right. So I go on Craigslist, and there's nothing on the personals. Help wanted there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the personals, not for a barbell balloon guy. So I just don't know where to turn, Sevan. And now it's perfect time for you to interject. Not about the vaccine.
First, before anything, Mars, I want to make sure, is your mental health okay? Maybe you don't need a job. Maybe you need to take a month off. Maybe you need to take a month off. Don't worry about your family and your kids and the people who rely on you. Maybe you should just make a post on your Instagram and talk about how depressed you are because you can't find a job and just how hard your life is right now. And just let your family just fucking blow in the wind for the next couple years, and you don't worry about it. Maybe have you thought about that option? Just posting on your social media about your tough mental condition. Have you thought maybe, Mars?
Maybe if I can't do anything, I should start a podcast.
That's another thing. Or buy a company. Go. Buy a company. Maybe you're depressed. You want to buy a big company that 100,000 people rely on to make a living, to put food on their table, and then see if that helps fix your mental illness. Maybe you should do that.
I'll only do that if I can fire the entire media team.
Oh, you're fucking good. God damn, you're good. Sorry. I retract that last statement. I mean, gosh darn it, you're good.
That's right. My kids are listening. You better watch your
fucking mouth. It's not
mouth.
that. I don't want to alienate my Christian brethren. I'm trying to do my duty. I care about other people's feelings as long as it doesn't stop other people from feeding their kids. I really do. I really, 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 really do. But the second it interferes, what? I don't know.
Dude, I'm just saying it's getting to a point where you might want to move.
So here, I think I see an attack. I see the word Matt and Josh and then relevant. Is that someone making fun of me? First, Sevan tries to hold on to Matt and Joshua to stay relevant, then goes hoping to stay relevant now that he's been relevantished again.
Well, yeah.
What the fuck, Alan? It's way too early to be drinking. I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
I like to take the opinions of people that can't spell and take them to heart.
I'm sorry. Say that again. What did you say about heart?
I like to take the opinions of the people that can't spell or speak and take it to heart. That's my favorite thing.
Yes. You called me a dog? No, I called you a god. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic.
My bad. Well, Mars, thank you. In all honesty, I really want to say I didn't mean to make light of the fact you lost your job, and I do want to suggest that for free you can go to barbelljobs.com and look for a new job. I did not mean to take your disadvantaged position and make a little skit out of it and then plug my sponsor. That it's kind of dickish, but it works out nicely.
You know what? I'm never calling you again. How dare you?
All right. Peace and love. Fuck. He hung up on us. Oh, nope. Sorry. Got to go. Mexican guy is calling. Oh, I hung up on a Mexican guy. I heard a melanated guy. I'm fucking going to get canceled. The guy's last name was Hernandez. Sorry, Hernandez. Shit. I was trying to do some. Oh, there he is. Dude, this guy's a French first name. This guy's a French first name and a Mexican last name. We're getting some major equity points. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I'm kind of. I'm looking at barbelljobs.com and trying to talk to you at the same time, but I'm doing my best.
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Hernandez. Thanks for calling the show. We're getting our Latinx quota up for the month.
There you go. I'm sorry too early in the morning, but you guys already touched on this, so I want to dive into it. You are friends with Greg. That's my understanding. I want to know, I think a lot of people in the community want to know, how was the dynamic inside HQ in terms of being aggressive to girls, in terms of, I don't know what happened, but abusing the females.
What do you mean abusing? What do you mean abusing? Tell me. What's abusing females look like? I want to hear this. What did you
I don't know.
hear?
That's why I'm asking. Whenever you left, there was a bunch of stories of, for example, the Wi-Fi password being something weird, I don't know what it was.
It was. You mean wet pussy?
Stuff like that. So this is my understanding, and I think the understanding of the community is like from him. Like this is what I've heard online. Like he used to like grab girls' butts or something like that, or rub them, or like grab their shoulders, stuff like that. And no one said anything, never, because they were like scared of them. What happened there? And then if something like that happened, why you didn't do anything? Why Dave didn't do anything? It's always been in the back of my mind, like why these guys that I admire so much, like they never stood up for the girls. If that story is correct, that's what I've read online.
Right. So I worked at CrossFitting for 15 years. For I would say over 10 of those years, I spent almost every day, every waking moment with Greg. I lived with Greg for 3 years at his home in San Diego, California. When I lived with him, meaning I slept in a bedroom that was I don't know, in the same house as him. And my wife lived there, and I raised my son there, Avi, for the first year. I will tell you this. 100 to 1, I saw women be more not according to my rules of what's appropriate and not appropriate, because you're probably asking the wrong person, but according to the rules of like maybe what you're alluding to, or what other people think is right and not right, over 100 times to 1, I saw women be far more inappropriate with Greg than he was with them. Now, do I think Greg thought it was inappropriate? No. There were employees and fans. We would be somewhere, we'd be in a meeting or something, and an female employee would walk in, and she would walk straight to him where he's sitting in his chair and rub her hand across his back, rub his hand across her chest. When we would go out in public, the women would just hug him and grab him and hold him. And men would do that too. But I would see people put their hands on his leg under the table. I saw stuff like that. In those years, I never saw Greg slap anyone's butt. Ever. The most inappropriate thing I ever saw Greg do was sometimes I'd be taking a piss and he'd want to talk. Let's say I was outside somewhere. Let's say we were driving across country and we pulled over and we're taking a piss, and I was outside peeing on a tree. He would come stand right next to me because he fucking had something to say. Did you know that insulin, blah, 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 and start talking to me about fucking insulin and mitochondria while I got my dick in my hand and I just need a fucking few seconds to pee? But this motherfucker's got so much on his fucking mind that he's got to come pee right next to me and tell me about fucking insulin. And then I fucking look at his dick and I'm like, Jesus. I'll go from his dick to his eyeballs to his dick to his eyeballs. And I'm like, I can't help it. I'm one of those guys, like if there's a dick out next to me, I look at it. It's fucked up. And
how big is it?
It's just normal. It's like maybe it's a little bigger than normal. But I have a huge dick, so they all look small to me. But I never ever we partied a lot. But it's so preposterous. It's as preposterous as to say that Floyd 19 was fucking racist or insensitive. It shows the fucking massive ignorance on people's perspective. The massive incident. Floyd 19 was a reference to the fact that the college that had put out COVID guidelines, the institution that had put out COVID guidelines, was so bad, and now they were chiming in on how the United States should handle its racial disparity or shit, whatever presuppositions they made, was now chiming in on that. And he was saying, you fucked up Floyd, and now you're going to fuck up COVID-19. If you can't see that, that's a whole nother show, and we could talk about it. But the cure should never cause more damage than the disease. And right now the cure is 10 billion to 1, no matter how you slice it. And if you're and I want to tell you this, and I've been fighting with some doctors, friends of mine, if you've participated in the cure at all, you are fucking complicit. If you were pro-mask, but you're anti-vaccine, or you're pro-vaccine and anti-mask, anywhere you jump into this now, you are complicit. It doesn't matter if you were just the train driver that drove the Jews to fucking Auschwitz. You are fucking complicit. Anyway, so going back to what you're saying, I never saw anything that was even 10% of the way fucking people behaved in high school or in college. And on top of that, this is his fucking company. So if you want to come to his house, you know, and get there and get drunk and get in the hot tub and whatever. Like he's never forcing anyone. And by the way, here's another thing that people don't know about Greg. Greg's always the first one to sleep at night. He's not the guy, like Greg goes to bed like at 9 and he's up at 3 a.m. He's not the guy hanging out at the fucking party until fucking midnight, 1 a.m, trying to fucking bottom feed off of drunk bitches. That ain't his thing. He doesn't do that.
When you say, oh, like we used to party, this is just that because I'm curious.
Party like a motherfucker. We partied hard.
Okay, how I'm very ignorant, but like how does like a
Coors Light,
like
and then all of a sudden he ran into some doctor, and the doctor told him that he ran into a scientist guy, and unfortunately the guy got murdered. What was this guy's name? Ran into him at a Starbucks. We were talking to him, and him and Greg got into this 2-hour conversation about nucleic acid and its relationship to diabetes and yeast. And right then, and at that point, we were drinking a shit ton of beer every night. And Greg would say, and it was mostly just me and Greg. When I say party, like we were almost always alone, or maybe a couple other executives. And
that's your party. It's just like you guys drinking beer.
Yeah, at the house. He didn't want to go out either. He needs to be by his computer and by his phone and by a whiteboard. He really likes a whiteboard. And so then from that day on, Greg goes, hey, I'm never going to drink another beer again. And I'm thinking to myself, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. I've known you for 10 years and you drink 10 fucking Coors Lights a day. And he stopped. He never drank another beer again. He switched to Tito's. It was fucking nuts.
Because of that conversation.
Yeah. And I think I lost 10 pounds. I stopped drinking Coors Light too. And so it's just complete horseshit. Did you see the article in the New York Times, Andre?
No, I searched it away from.
Yeah, search New York Times, Greg Glassman, and there's a someone said in the comments, Sevan always brings it back to him. No, if the show's not about me, that means it's going in the wrong fucking direction. It's not that I'm bringing it back to me that should upset you. Anyway,
the Sevan podcast.
Yes, thank you, sir. So there's a paragraph in there that's it's just a classic example of things taken completely out of context. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story I haven't told you before. There were these. Say it again.
There's two. You're saying the one that says CrossFit owner fostered sexist company culture.
Yeah, that's probably. And what's even more insane about that is there was never a place where the women were more equal. That outside of. There was never a place where women were more equal. It was fucking insane. I'm telling you, I could be doing overhead squats in the gym at HQ with 95 pounds, and some girl from across the gym with 135 would yell at me, "You're a bitch." And it was okay. Relative to her, I was being a bitch. There was an environment there of young people who were really, really fucking personally accountable, responsible, aggressive, and hyper fixated on CrossFit. But there wasn't and you have to understand another thing. When they say Greg set the culture in the office, he was never in the office. Those people you heard bitching, they set the culture in the office. There were so few executives in the office. I'm trying to think, besides the IT guy, I'm thinking maybe I was the second most executive who was in the office, and it was those other guys who were fucking complaining, those whiny fucking bitches who have tall men syndrome because they were never picked on as kids and now they're oversensitive. Those are the fucking guys who set the culture in the office. It was nuts. Everything you read in there is just horseshit. And if you don't believe me, what you can do is you can look at the paragraph in there that they wrote about me, and then go back and listen to the Stacy Tovar podcast. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not lost on me that I am not appropriate. I'm an outside dog. I get it. I burp at the dinner table. I say fat instead of obese. I worked hard though to be like this. I worked hard to fucking build my integrity and trade in my kindness for it. Kindness is nothing. Anyway, so it was nothing like they said. It was nothing like they said. The man was surrounded by people working out in their bra and panties. He was richer than fucking God, and he fucking handled it like better than anyone I could imagine. Elmer Fudd rants about his BFF.
I have to question more about Greg. I don't know if you want to answer them, but
oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, I assume you're his friend. Can you give an update? So, like for me, that guy, he was my hero, But like, where's he at? He got 100 million, and then where is he? What is he doing? Like,
He got much more than much more than 100 million. And
wasn't the deal 100 million?
No, sir. And since then, I think whatever he had is probably doubled, and he is doing very, very, very well. I'm actually going out to see him in the first week of December. I'm going to spend a week. Our families are going to spend a week together.
And can you?
And just so you know, so anyone's like, well, of course he's defending him. He's his best friend. Dude, you can go back in my podcast, and I've talked some horrendous shit about Greg too.
Yeah,
like I'm telling you, like you think it's fun. I would love to compare notes with Sammy. You think it's fun living with Matt Fraser? I'd love to compare notes with Froning's wife. You think it's fun? Like, these are fucking, like, these people are eccentric beyond eccentric. Success doesn't come with just like they're not eccentric for the sake of being eccentric. But the CrossFit Games champ wants to get up at fucking midnight and fucking have a steak and then go out and run fucking a marathon. That's what he's fucking doing. He's not going to cuddle in fucking bed with you and rub your back. And it's like that with Greg. Let me tell you, like, if you wanted to run with someone who is 100% devoted to health and fitness. And here's the thing also, let me tell you, if you compare his leadership to the current leadership, the affiliates are fucked. The community is fucked. So bad. And actually, I was going to talk about that a little bit today. It is so bad. Ask yourself why Eric Rosa bought the company. Ask yourself how much he owns of this company.
And can you answer that? Because I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I do know. No, I can't. Well, I don't know why he bought it, but I know how much percentage he owns.
But what's the percentage?
I'm not telling you.
Like, can I find that online?
Let's just say other people can make decisions that go above him.
This company does not care. We just saw, and it's so sad. We just saw this man send out an email that conflates his mental health with the mental health of the entire country, with the mental health of one of the employees' husbands who was a fucking war hero, who killed himself. We just saw him, and then we saw people in the community who were like, "Oh my God, such a good job!" Blah 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 blah. Hey man, a ton of us have had mental health issues. Fuck, I was homeless for 2 years. Another 5 years, I lived in a fucking car. It's fucking hard. When I was 16, I didn't leave the house for 2 weeks because I was afraid I was gonna die. This is the caterpillar coming out of the cocoon and being a butterfly. That is not a time to be at the helm. You're worried about a guy who some fucking shit rag newspaper says rubbed a girl's butt inappropriately. You have a guy at the helm of a company that has 15,000 small mom and pop businesses that probably employ 3 people each. That's 45,000 people. Let's say another 45,000 people in the ecosystem. That's 100,000 fucking jobs. You have fucking 90,000 jobs in the ecosystem, and that's being very conservative, that are reliant on a leader that's fucking mentally broken. What the fuck? What the fuck? Step the fuck down. That's what I say to you. And your mental health issues are a totally different thing. That's a complete fucking conflation of trying to get emotional appeal from the crew. It's nuts. And the fact that people are falling for it, saying it brings great attention. Let me tell you what mental illness is. Mental illness is owning an affiliate the last 2 years and not having CrossFit HQ stand up for you and defend you to the US government that was trying to shut your ass down, to the fucking German government that was trying to shut your ass down. That you have you have to put food on your table. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your lease. You're already all in. I bet you 80% of CrossFit gym owners are all in. What do I mean by that? Like, they are fucking live paycheck to paycheck, and they're like chasing their dream. And this guy's now taking a 1 month rest and writing this. It's just it's not. No, of course, no one wants to talk about it, because then, like, it's just woke shit. It's just like, you don't want to talk about the real issue. You don't want to be like, hey, that guy's really shitty at his job because he's black, and you're scared. Fuck that. You don't want to talk about that. This is so fucked up because you can't attack someone who has mental health issues. Fuck you. This is just another thing. And even if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. He needs to get the fuck out of the way. There's people's lives at stake. This guy has fucking probably $200 million from his sale to Oracle. And by the way, I want to say this too, in true sympathy to Mr. Rosa. When I had fucking mental health issues, and by the way, if you haven't had them, you will have them. It's part of your evolution of consciousness. If this guy, it's really hard if you're rich. When you're poor, it's easy as fuck, especially if you don't have anyone who relies on you. I was just fucking 20 years old. I had no one to rely on me and poor. I just ended up being homeless. It was awesome. I just got to deal with my own shit. And there's a huge component of narcissism to mental illness. Don't think there's not. Oh, that's so mean, Sevan. I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules. That's God's fault. I'm pretty sure Graham Holmberg loves God. Talk to him. Graham Collin, tell us why God's doing this to us.
Do you think like a big difference between Glassman and Rosa is the way Glassman was leading had nothing to do with money?
Well, the thing is this. When I was fired, Eric wrote me a really nice text message and said, thanks for your contribution over all these years to the games. That just shows he has no idea what is going on. When Greg created CrossFit, Greg created all the literature, all the journal articles in the beginning, everything. It's his vision. He never did it so when I was a little kid, I sold lemonade, not because I wanted to make great lemonade, but because I wanted to make some money so that I could buy something out of the best catalog. Greg made CrossFit. We'd have to ask him why. Greg made fucking CrossFit and designed it because at the time he didn't have a car. He rode his bike to work. He had clients at a Gold's Gym, and he was genuinely interested in what would make people better. I'm guessing he wasn't married at the time too, so he was interested in girls. I think that's what a lot of male trainers, I think that's what just a lot of young men are interested in. But he was at the gym and he's just training guys and finding out what works and what doesn't work and what works. And he himself was a super high level gymnast and athlete. And so I think he was just tinkering with it. And then I think he's really, really smart. I know he is. And he comes from a pedigree from his mom and dad of hard workers who believe in science, the scientific method. And so he started writing this stuff down and it just started growing. And then what really happened is he was in Santa Cruz, still didn't own a car, still rode his bike to work, but he had this really wealthy client who said, hey, you need to put this shit online because I'm going to be traveling the world for the next 6 months. And when Greg put it online as a blog, it just shot off. He had his wife Lauren made him put the computer in the garage. She didn't believe in having computers in the house. And so he would go out there every night and just write the workout. It was before there were even pictures on the internet, for those of you who are too young to know that. And because it fucked up the download speed. And so there would just be these scribblings and then basically it grew and grew and grew. And he stayed hyper focused on making the fittest people in the world. Just like the people think the CrossFit Games are something that it's not. The CrossFit Games, I'm sure the marathon has something similar in its history. The marathon was probably like who can run away from the lion the fastest. The CrossFit Games were just a place to celebrate this methodology and figure out who through its use, who became the fittest. And Eric has none of that. When Eric came on board, he didn't even know what GPP was, general physical preparedness. That's okay that he didn't know that, but when he bought something and he has no idea what he bought. When I spoke to Eric in my first, I guess I would say job interview, I said, hey, what did you think of the L1? And he said, I don't really remember. I go, when did you take it? He said, a handful of years ago. I go, you don't really remember it? He goes, yeah. I'm like, you weren't blown away by it? He goes, no, not really. And I'm like, wow. Like and then when he said to me, thanks for your contribution to the games and left, he doesn't know when he talked about in a lecture he gave to all the staff one time, he talked about the pillars of CrossFit and he never mentioned the training staff. Oh, don't get me started on the training staff. The training staff, there was 179 L1 trainers. One of the things that makes CrossFit so special, and Greg loved the trainers. He talked incessantly about Nicole's team and Dave's team, the trainers. They hold what Greg calls the L1 kernel. He knew that if everyone died on the planet and one trainer lived, that the methodology would continue. It would continue. Ryan says, Sevan is genuinely upset. And to be honest, it's kind of hot.
No,
I'll take what I can get. Thank you, Ryan. I love you.
I have a last question.
Yeah. Wait. Can I finish one more thing? Thank you. If you don't love the trainers, if they're not at the forefront of it, they are this business. And Rosa doesn't know that either. He doesn't, when he talked about the 3 pillars of CrossFit, he mentioned like the games, the this and the that, and never mentioned the trainers. The trainers are everything. Those people on Nicole's team are everything. And to not know that and treat the company like that is it's nuts. It's nuts. What's more important, to take care of your upholstery in your car or the engine and the tires? And they have it all backwards. They think, the board thinks that they fucking bought the Harley Davidson. They did not. They bought the Hell's Angels. They need to be run completely different. There's no motorcycle manufacturing. This precision healthcare thing, this is nuts. There's no leadership from Rosa. There's no leadership coming out of HQ. And why is that? Because there's no one with a vision anymore. Well, maybe there's a vision, but the vision doesn't fit. The vision doesn't fit the vehicle that they're driving. You can't have a vision to ride a boat across a lake when you're sitting in a car. They're in the wrong vehicle. They're confused about what they bought. Now, not all of them. I guarantee you the trainers know. There's a ton of people. I don't know if anyone's being honest with Rosa or the board, but there's a ton of people I'm sure who do know. Nicole's fucking gotta know. I mean, that fucking chick is, that's like, I don't understand. She should be fucking president of the United States. Dave fucking knows 100%. All the staff know who've been there. All the trainers know they fucked up too. I could say some bad shit about them, but I'm on a high note about them. Those fucking idiots turned on Greg. Anyway, the stuff that Greg did, the stuff that Greg did to the community, your wife does things a million, and your kids doing things a million times worse to you every day than what he did to the community. I understand why people are upset at Greg. We were all hiding in a house, and he coughed, and the zombies then came to the house and started eating us. I know. It sucked. He threw a fucking rock at the home of the zombies, and they came after CrossFit, and all the businesses had their feelings hurt. I get it. I totally get it. It's not that what he said was insensitive. It's not what he said is racist. It's not what he said is sexist. It just sucks that you fucking own CrossFit, blah, 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 and Greg turned the zombies on your gym. That sucks. I agree. I'll give you that. That's it. That comment he made, Floyd 19, was like fucking making noise, and the zombies heard us and came and started eating some of us. Sucks. Sucks. Sorry. I agree.
That's a good rant, bro.
Thank you.
Last one.
I'm trying to think. I want to tell you. I'm trying to figure out if I slept with any of the employees when I was at CrossFit Inc. I don't think I did. Just my wife. I was sleeping with her before she became an employee. Just the sex thing is just so nuts. Do you know that Greg lived in Portland, and I've never been to a strip club with Greg. Do you know, like, I had these ideations, these fucking psychotic ideations that one day this guy with all this money would fucking take me. And I've only been to one other strip club. I went in Mexico once. 2 times. I went once in San Francisco for a birthday party. I left like in 5 minutes. I did not enjoy it. I wanted to cry actually, because what the girls were doing was making me sad, and the way the dudes were treating them. I guess I wasn't emotionally mature enough to handle it. And then I went once in Mexico, but I always thought, oh my God, what if Greg and I could go? Greg's so rich. What if we went to a strip club in Portland and like he did that thing like Mike Mayweather does, where he throws $20,000 bills in the air? Right? I always thought maybe that could happen, but I never even went to a strip club with this guy. And I did everything with them. I cannot, like, I'm telling you, I peed on 1,000 trees with this guy. I've seen his dick too many times.
Brother, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for fucking being a dick and trying to fucking call me out on my own show. I love you.
Have a good day, sir.
Okay, bye.
Nice.
Thanks.
You know what the interesting thing is about that, him talking about like the culture, is I think it's really shocking, and you brought it up, I'm glad you said it, is when he said Greg was never even in the office.
Yeah, he wasn't in the office.
And I think Dave actually said that on a podcast a while back, and I forget which one he was on. But anyhow, he had said, he was like, what do you mean the culture? He goes, you were the culture. You guys
blame me. Blame Ben Ellizer, the IT guy.
He was like, where was Greg? Greg was remote. He goes, I wasn't even in the office that much. He goes, what do you mean culture? Which I think a lot of people don't know that.
Fuck, the show's over. I'm fucking tired.
Was that it? Did you just
Kate Gordon says that sometimes you should have sex and not ejaculate. That I think I just had sex, but I didn't ejaculate. I'm exhausted.
Oh, that sounds frustrating.
They're just weird. Oh, shut up if you don't get that metaphor. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, one thing
I started off so good. You don't know how fucking, like, my hat got tight when I saw Graham Holmberg commented. Like, literally, like, my head started swelling.
Did you see his other one?
No.
This.
Big fan of the content. Hopefully we can connect soon. Dude, I gotta have that guy. What are you doing? That's Sousa's fault. You haven't been invited. Jamal, what's up, brother?
Oh, Sevan, I think you'd be proud of me. I'm not in bed this time when I called you.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Why do you guys always call in pairs? That's good. That's good. What are your hands doing? What are your hands doing right now?
They're gripping the steering wheel, barely though.
All right.
I just left the gym and we did death by cows on the assault bike.
Oh shit. So explain that to me a little bit.
So the way we did it this time was you have 1 minute per round. So if the round is like the round of 12, you have to hit 12 calories within that minute, and then you get a 30-second rest afterwards to go ahead and reset your bike and stuff. A little bit different than how other death buys go.
How many calories? So literally the first minute you do 1 calorie, the second minute 2 calories, third minute 3 calories, or do you start just like at 10 calories or 5 calories?
No, you start at 1, work your way up.
Oh shit! And how far did you make it?
I got 17 plus 13.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry. 16 plus 13.
So in the 17th minute, you got 13 calories.
No. I finished the round of 16. So I hit the 16-minute mark. I was in the round of 17. I only ended up getting 13 calories.
I'm going to try that.
It's fun.
I've done that with burpees before. I used to do that a lot, actually, with burpees, just to get them like sneak up on me. I think the most I ever got was 17, and then I never revisited that again. I didn't like that feeling too much.
Oh, yeah. I definitely had the Bambi legs coming off.
There was this other workout we used to do at HQ a lot too. Well, for most of the people there, it was a warm up, but not for me. For me, it was a workout. I think it was horrible. It was 10 calories on the assault bike, 10 burpees for 20 minutes on the minute.
Okay.
On the minute. So like you just went back and forth, back and forth. It was something like that. But somehow it got worse as you went on. I can't remember.
I mean, it just sounds horrible to think about, but that's just me.
I don't get 12 calories a round. How about you eat a dick? Not you, Jamal. My friend
thank you.
Colin.
Oh man. But yeah, that's all I wanted to call and say.
All right, cool.
Let you go ahead and have fun with that later.
Okay.
Oh, also,
yes.
I recorded a video of my gym. I'll have to send it to you later.
Is it a stand-up routine or music or what?
Say it again.
Is it a demo of like music or stand-up routine or pole dancing or what is it? Is it video, audio? What is it?
Oh, it's of the gym, but
of your gym. I thought you said you recorded your demo, like you were going to send me like a 2-minute stand-up routine you did.
An audition tape.
Yeah, some shit like that.
That's the next big event at the CrossFit Games. Rope climb dancing.
Yes.
I mean, I guess that's what a CrossFitter would do at a strip club.
Yes. Oh, Wad Zombie, I want to talk about that get out of jail free card for a minute. Okay, thank you, Jamal.
All right, bye.
So that is a very, very, very interesting thing. Get out of jail free card. So, if I know that he is being, and I would like someone to explain this to me, but I guess I get it. People are celebrating him because he's drawing attention to mental illness, and when you do that, it allows other people to feel comfortable talking about mental illness. I guess that's the positive. And people are saying that that's good leadership. That's where it gets conflated. That maybe it's good leadership, but it's not good leadership of CrossFit HQ. It's not good leadership of something. If I owned an affiliate, I wouldn't think it was good leadership.
Well, I think this is an important point too, because there's two different ways people take this conversation, right? They see it as is, and then they celebrate the fact that he's willing to come out and talk about it, which you and I think both is a good thing. You need to get yourself help. You need to get yourself right. But then there's the second page.
Well, and let me say, even more important than get yourself help, you have to help yourself. I'm going to tell you, there is no way out without doing the work.
Yeah,
go on.
I think,
or you could start drinking. You could start drinking, but it's kind of just delays the work. It just delays the work.
That's a short-term strategy. And so what I think is that a lot of the people that are celebrating the fact that he came out to destigmatize kind of the mental health issue is good, and it is good that he's talking.
Yeah,
about
I'm not
it.
even buying that though. I don't even know what. Maybe I live in a shell, but like, destigmatize. Like, what's the stigma?
No, totally. But then
that you shouldn't be running a company. That you shouldn't be running a company that 100,000 people. Well, sorry, that's not a stigma. That's a truth. You should not be running a company when people's livelihood and people's kids. Sorry, Sousa. God, I feel bad interrupting you. I'm going to stop.
Why'd you stop?
You shouldn't run a company like I don't know what the stigma is. Like, people think you're weak. People think something's wrong with you. People, okay, well, so what? Like, then that's just part of the mental illness. Get over that. Like, there's nothing we can do about what other people think. But to conflate that with what good leadership is, this is like, maybe that's good social leadership. Like, when I go to the skate park and pick up trash, that's the first thing I do. By the way, I've been doing that now for 2 years, and the only person who's ever said thank you to me is a 12-year-old boy. None of the parents have ever said thank you to me. It's fucking amazing. I was thinking about it. Not that I care. I don't want the thank you, but it's kind of like, I remember there was the filmmaker girl, Mariah Moore, who's married to Tyson Oldroyd. Well, I gave bonuses out one time at HQ, and she wrote me a thank you letter, and it made I didn't need a thank you letter, but when she wrote me the thank you letter, it all of a sudden made me think that everyone who didn't write the thank you letter was an asshole. Do you know what I mean? Like, if she would have said nothing, I would have expected nothing, but she set the bar too high. She set the bar. Okay, sorry. Go on.
I'll do one better. There was a grandmother that actually kept track of all the thank you cards that were sent versus gift, and that's how you got kept in the good graces.
Oh, really? Wow.
So don't underestimate how impactful those could be. But the point that I was getting, which you touched on, which is that there's two separate conversations, and people are doing what you're saying, which is conflating the two. Number one, is it good that he's helping himself? Is it good that he's at least explaining what's going on and is comfortable coming out with it? Yes, no one's disagreeing with that. But now we need to have the secondary conversation. What the secondary conversation is, now what? Because you can't have somebody leading, like, as you said, 100,000 people and employees or lives that are being affected. When you consider the affiliates, the employees, the vendors, the ecosystem of CrossFit. Now what, though? Because then that conversation needs to be had.
How I don't want to take it there, but I'll go here. This is gentle without bringing me into it. My personal issues. Why did he buy this company? And whatever reason he bought it for, it's just crazy that I don't think he bought it so that he could come out and send the staff and in the world a letter about his fucking depression.
Yeah, no, I mean, this could
I think he bought it possibly as a cure for his depression. And as Wad Zombie said, a get out of jail free card. Now all of a sudden, let's say you're on the board. Let's go here. Fuck it. I'm going here. Let's say you're on the board. Who can't you fire? You can't fire the gay dude. You can't fire the black dude. And you can't fire the dude who just said he has mental illness and depression. Maybe this is his way of putting a shield around himself, so the woke crowd will protect him. I don't know. That's all speculation, my friends. All
Yeah,
speculation. But and I don't believe any of that, by the way. And by the way, I'd fire someone who is gay, black, or mentally depressed, or whatever, tall and
Yeah,
handsome and white, especially you fuckers.
here's the thing, though. Most of that stuff is
You can
symbolism.
fire Sevan, and yeah, you could fire me too. They didn't fire me. My position was eliminated. My job position was eliminated. There was no need for me. I don't know what that means. Boom, penny drops. It's bam. We're live, not boom, the penny drops. Dude, did you that news show? Were you gonna say something, Souza?
Oh, I was just going to say that a lot of the symbolism in theater that is propped up for the appeasing of the crowd or the audience, once the boardroom sits down to have a discussion and that door is shut, I guarantee you all that goes out the window, because the only thing that they're caring about is a return on their investment, and that's all that they're focused on. So they'll do little things like this to kind of appease the crowd or to soften it as far as a PR stunt goes. But at the end of the day, when that board sits down, they're saying, is this guy fit to make us a return on our investment? And to them, I guarantee you that's the only thing that matters.
I very well said. The last time that I had mental illness was I was actually at a CrossFit executive's house, and his wife had made lemon brownies that had marijuana in them. You know, I don't fuck with marijuana. I don't smoke that shit. I don't eat that shit. I don't fuck with that stuff. I mean, I used to smoke it like from the minute I woke up till the minute I went to bed. I haven't done that in 30 years. And I knew that there was marijuana in there. And as the night went on, I was getting hungrier and hungrier. And I was like, fuck. And I kept looking at him. And right before we left, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just eating one of these. How bad can it be? Dude.
Famous last words.
Dude, I was fucking crazy. It was the worst 12 hours of my fucking life. I wanted to run from my fucking thoughts. It was so loud in there. It was like being in a taxi cab with music I hated full blast. It sucked. Hey, caller, how are you? 203.
Yeah, caller.
Hey, am I on the line?
You are.
Cool.
No.
Well, I love CrossFit and I love UFC, so ultimately I'm chasing your podcast daily.
Holy shit.
Yep.
What's your name?
Jody.
And oh, are you the one who writes nasty comments about me in YouTube? Like Sevan, shut up, stop.
No.
Is your last name Lynn?
No.
Oh.
Jody Lynn.
Oh, there's this. Is it Jody Lynn?
Yeah, it's Jody Lynn, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you write nasty comments about me. You're always telling
I'm
me
not that nasty. Come on.
You're always telling me to shut the fuck up. I know exactly who you
Oh.
are. And you in your profile picture, you're all professional. You're in like a gray suit and shit, all fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate it
I'm
when
selling
pretty girls.
cabinets here in Connecticut.
I hate it when pretty girls put me down. It's like the double fucking whammy.
I'm mostly complimentary, Sevan. Come on.
I'm like, oh my God, no wonder. Well, thank you. I can't believe you're calling. Great to hear from you. You are mostly complimentary. You are no, that's not true. You're fitty. You're fitty. You're the kid who stands like the other two kids are on the teeter-totter, and you stand in the middle and try to control it from the middle with your feet.
Keeps it real.
I'll tell you when you can go up.
Yeah, I've been addicted to your podcast from the old days. So.
Well, that's cool. Do you have
That's
kids,
good to
Jody?
talk to you. I had one quick question.
Yes.
I'm very rare that I love the UFC and spend Saturday nights watching them. So I'm wondering if your wife watches with you.
Boy, it's a really sensitive subject for me. I've never actually really talked to her about this, but she will come. She actually, what interests me is she will come and watch when the women fight, which kind of surprises me. I don't see that as much from my wife, like having interest in like male or female, but when the women fight, she'll definitely come over and sit down. And when the main event, but do you know what she does the whole time? We have people over and my wife like caters to them the whole time. Like she wants to make sure that the people at our house are having fun.
Well, that's like, appropriate. I mean, that's
I
great.
know, but I wish
at least
she
you
wouldn't.
Participate.
I know. I wish she wouldn't. I wish she would just come sit down. Like part of me just feels bad for her the whole time.
Well, I'm the opposite. I don't want to entertain anybody. I just want to watch the fight.
Yeah, if you come over to my house and watch the fights, I sit on this chair that's like always my chair, and I'm either looking at the fights or looking at my phone or looking at you like in disbelief. Did we really just see that? And then that's it. Like I don't try
Did
to
that just happen?
Yeah. I try not to cater to anyone else's, like, I'll make sure all the seating's right. Like if there's a chair that's not facing the TV, I'll get up and move it for my guest. But other than that, like I just like, hey, if you want to drink something, go to the fridge. We have sparkling water. And if not, shut the fuck up and watch the fight.
Yeah. In my group, I'm just like the opposite of every other woman there. I'm like, just let me watch the fight, please.
Did you fight yourself?
No.
Yeah.
I just think it's a beautiful expression of the body just in full strength.
And the dudes, it is really fun seeing all their bodies. It is.
I mean, that they have the commitment, the discipline, and the schedule to put out that power through their bodies. It's excellent.
I even like the Ben Rothwell body. Like when he fought that other dude, the dude from Brazil. I called him black yesterday, but I guess he's not black. Do you know which fight I'm talking about? It was on the it was the fight right before the Holloway fight last weekend.
Yeah, they were big.
Yeah, I even like their bodies.
Big,
I'm like, man, I love watching these bodies move around. It's so crazy.
Even Gypsy King is just huge.
Yes.
But he can move.
Yes, I love his body. He's so great. Oh my goodness. And I'm a huge fan of Deontay Wilder now too. I didn't like him, but after that last fight, I fell in love with him. Oh my goodness, the fighters are.
Well, nuts. I'm falling in love with all these fighters you have on, so.
Oh,
I really appreciate that.
Okay, cool. On Sunday, I'm having Nick Rodriguez on. I think that's going to be really cool. If you don't know who that is, there's a 40-minute documentary about him that I highly recommend seeing.
Yeah, and the 18th is a big fight too. So
who's fighting on the 18th?
Oh, a bunch of people are fighting. But we're having a party that night, so you're invited.
Oh, thank you.
Cross country.
Awesome.
I don't know how you watch that all afternoon though.
Well, I wake up pretty early and I just take the kids and run them ragged on Saturday. So they have tennis in the morning, and then I take them to the.
We're up until 1 watching that stuff.
Oh yeah, we're not up that late.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
okay?
must,
Well, listen, I have to go and I have to go and work, but you are definitely causing a lot of unproductivity in my life.
Okay, I don't fill any shitty cabinets. Like I have one house that has really nice cabinets, and I have one house that has really shitty cabinets. Sell good stuff to people, man.
Listen,
cabinets that go sideways suck.
I have cabinets for every budget. You just tell me what you want to spend. You get what you need.
All right. I just want one that opens nicely with good action, that doesn't get stuck, that doesn't come off the tracks. Don't sell me the newest fucking innovation that fucking doesn't slam. I need something that works.
Well, I have a lot of working cabinets, so.
All right.
You can get me offline on that one.
I can get you off anytime.
All right. Okay. You have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
My cabinets. I have this fucking brand new Home Depot fucking kitchen cabinet monstrosity at the house I live in now. And I mean brand new. I bought a flip and it's 4 years old now. The drawers suck.
Hey, I like those ones that don't slam.
Yeah, but I just had to go there. I know if they work, they're cool.
Hey, I've had the privilege of being in some pretty cool houses, and I know you probably have too as well. And I always thought the key to the luxury was just being able to just swing it and walk away, knowing it was going to shut. Same with the toilet seat. You just hit it and walk away, and you know it's coming down.
Oh, that's interesting. You know. My dad changed all the toilet seats in my house to those ones that go down slowly, and I just fucking hate them. I fucking hate them. Oh man,
that's luxury. You don't even have to hold on so it doesn't slam. You just hit it and walk away.
Oh, I'm at Hot Mama Yoga. Of course you are.
Get the stretching, Colin. Get the stretching.
Okay. So I don't want to beat a dead horse.
You know what I'm interested in though?
I would rather have my hand chopped off than be stuck with a brain that doesn't work right. I worked in a home for mentally disabled adults for 5 years. I lived there. I've seen mental disability. I've had my own fucking, challenges of going but knock on wood, it's been fucking 20 some odd years. But anyone who's ever done acid or mushrooms or marijuana or even drink too much alcohol and you're like, why did I do this to myself? It really is very close to that, but it just doesn't go away. You know, when I worked at HQ, we did fucking dozens of pieces on mental health and showed transformational stories of people who had mental health issues and pulled out.
Yep.
But don't be fucking duped, people, by don't let the issues conflate. It takes years to recover from something like that and rebuild. Don't conflate the issues of mental illness with being a good leader that drives a boat through narrow waterways. It's a fucking, this is idiocy. This is just more woke idiocy. This is because you can't separate your intellect from your feelings, and you have to.
If you're on a plane and the co-pilot comes on and says, "Sorry, you haven't heard from us because we're having issues," the pilot actually has mental illness issues, and you're in that airplane, what's your very first thought? You're not thinking, "Yes, I'm so proud this person is seeking help." You're thinking, "Holy shit, I hope we could land this plane." Then we'll worry about it. The person is seeking help, right?
It's the same. The people who fall for that are the same idiots who fell for Katrin Doder and all these athletes who said, "I'm out" when Greg did what he did. Like, dude, like they're not in the plane.
Yeah.
They own the. What's up, Mars?
You know what I hate?
Talk to me.
You know what I hate, Vaughn?
I want to know what you love.
Well, I'll tell you what I hate, and I'll tell you what I love. All right. I hate when the pilot comes on and he tells me that his mental illness is he has a fetish for crashing planes into hills.
Hey, and you know what that guy needs to do? He needs to look for a new trabajo. He needs a new trabajo.
No, just give him a private plane. It's fine.
He needs to go to barbelljobs.com and get a new job.
He can be Wiz Khalifa's private pilot. That's fine.
You guys didn't know I knew Spanish. Wiz Khalifa. What, man? You don't like Wiz Khalifa? What, you want him to crash? What's up?
No, I don't know. There was something about his pilots were having drama the other day. I guess I don't know. Internet drama. I got a few questions for you, Sevan, if you don't mind me derailing you. And I told you I was never going to call you again, but that's last.
I think you have a split personality, so I'm going to give you a pass.
Well, if I do, it's from listening to your podcast.
Okay.
So, got some questions about Greg from listening to the caller earlier.
Yes.
I know you wanted to bring this back up, so here I am. When you said Greg, did you mean Joe Biden? I'm hearing a lot about sniffing people and rubbing shoulders.
Sorry, I was looking at my biceps.
That's fine.
Say that again. What about Joe Biden?
No, I was just curious if you worked for Joe Biden. I didn't realize Joe Biden was in charge of CrossFit. Do you hear about the sniffing hair and rubbing shoulders? So I was just curious.
No,
related or not.
I think that you just got confused. No. I did not work for Joe Biden, nor did I ever see Greg Glassman sniffing anyone's hair. And if I did see him rubbing shoulders, I'll tell you what, Greg has really strong hands. Greg's rubbed my shoulders a few times, where he comes up behind you and puts his hands on your shoulders. And I really like human touch. One of the things about CrossFit is there was a lot of hugging, and I really enjoyed that. And it was funny because there were people who didn't like it, like Adrian Bosman and Dave didn't like it. But then and I'm guilty. I would hug them extra hard just to fuck with them. So
I think Dave's the kind of guy you need to get into a corner and hug as hard as you can.
There was this the HR lady at HQ was the most inappropriate hugger, which the irony was just crazy.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Another question.
Yes.
When you were
and what's inappropriate hugging? Does anyone know? If anyone wants to write that in the comments, I'll tell you what inappropriate hugging is. I want to see some guesses. What did you say? Sorry, Mars.
Well, I was curious that when you were peeing next to Greg and he started talking to you about insulin and diabetes, did it make peeing a little hard?
Like, did I feel movement down there?
Yeah. Did that kind of get your engine roaring?
No, I think just right away, as soon as I think that someone can see, I'm like a 4-year-old. As soon as I think someone can see my penis, I panic. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I just panic.
Yeah, I just kind of thought the diabetes talk might get you going, but maybe I'm wrong. That's fine. I got you pegged wrong. That's okay.
No, sorry.
I just need to listen to another 200 episodes to get you figured out.
Well, I'm really open, so you would think that I could see how you would think that. I'm very open-minded, so I can see how you.
Yeah, you strike me as the kind of guy where I tell you that your zipper's down. You said, I know. Okay. All right, man. That's fine. Whatever.
I'm gonna use that. Hips touch. I never saw a hips touch. Oh yeah, hips touch. Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. Like if you push your shit up against, like, you know, there's girls, like usually it seems like they have big boobs and you hug them and they do the thing where like you guys make a teepee when you hug, like they won't hug you. It's like, whatever. Okay. I don't care. Like, you do you. But the hips touching is weird. Like I hip hug like my wife.
Yeah.
And that's it. I haven't put, no one else is on that list. I don't. I mean, maybe my mom and my dad, but I just really just squeeze the shit out of them because I know I love it when my kids squeeze the shit out of me. Yeah. Hips touch. Yeah. That chick used that our HR lady would just, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I got another question.
Yes.
What's your problem with Dan Bailey?
Oh, buddy, I can't go there. I love Dan. He's a great dude. Hey,
I don't know.
Listen, I've told the story before. I'll leave it. I hate vagaries because then it lets other people like fill in the blanks. And I know a lot of people do.
Did he send you a bag of decaf?
Yeah, that would be. I wish I could say something like that. The thing is this. I felt very close to him. I did a lot of shit for him. I even put my job on the line for him, and that's all. Like, he doesn't owe me anything for that. He doesn't, like, that's all by my own choice. So I had this built up idea of who he was in my head. And when the boat got rocked, when the whole thing went down with Floyd 19 and the new company coming in and Eric Rosa buying the company, he did shit to me. He didn't have my back. He turned on me. He basically was saying shit like, hey, you should fire Sevan. This is a guy who fucking lived in my house with my fucking kid for 2 months. This is a guy who fucking, when he moved out, left fucking bullet casings and bullets under his bed. This is a guy that, like, I let the company do Danny Broflex and blow him the fuck up. And I sent Heber and Mars to visit him and film shit about him all on the fucking reg. We fucking loved on him so fucking hard. And his fucking payback to me is to say, yeah, someone should get fired. That's what I heard. And I heard it from multiple very solid, good, great sources. Fuck that guy. That is
I'm glad
fucked
you're not
up.
Get into it.
Well, now I know. But the thing is, like, I don't want to talk shit about someone and then you be like, in the big picture, he didn't do anything to me, right? Like I really enjoyed hanging out with him. He was fun. He was nice. We made a lot of good videos together. It hurt. I had an image of him as someone who wouldn't have, like, if someone asked, hey, should someone still work at HQ, and be like, oh my God, yes, he's fucking weird. Yes, he says some things inappropriate, but his fucking love for people as a whole and for making the world a better place and spreading the message is second to none. And like I would be okay with that because that's the bullshit image I have of myself. It would not, yeah, you got to get rid of this motherfucker. And there's a bunch of people who did that. And I get it. I read the book Mouse, the Pulitzer Prize winning book Mouse. I know what happens when they come after the Jews. They all fucking start turning on each other. I can imagine what it's like being in a swimming pool and 80 people are drowning. You don't give a fuck who's underneath you. You're trying to climb to the top. But it's still,
realized why you got fired tonight.
What? Why?
You read the book Mouse, Pulitzer Prize book Mouse.
All right. So,
exactly
and by the way, it's a graphic novel. It's a comic book.
I know what you're talking about. It's a cartoonized book about mice at Auschwitz. I know what you're talking about.
If you have not read that book, you have to read that book. Not you, Mars. You don't have to do anything. You the man.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
so
all.
Now
the
Dan Bailey should stay. So I've just it's not him. It's that he didn't live up to the image I had of him.
Yeah, I've had that
in my head. Do you know what I mean? It's like my wife always exceeds my expectations of her. Dan Bailey fell well short, but they're my expectations. So what am I gonna do?
I get that.
And and it's not my place to say what's up with him and Josh.
No, that's fine. It's probably about the coffee company, but who knows?
Was Dan the one Josh does like from the Good Dudes Coffee?
Are you talking to me, or you reading comments?
No, I'm just reading comments because you stopped talking.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. I got nothing else. I told you I wasn't going to call again. Called you again. I'll call you again.
Don't call me again. Bye. The answer you were looking for was docking for 100 points. That's what it's called when you hug someone, Johnny, like hip to hip. Docking. Docking. Literally, the boat Dan lived on rocked. I don't. Okay. Yeah, so Greg told me never to do fucking Danny Broflex ever, ever, ever. That's not what this fucking company is about. He thought it was fucking stupid. He thought it dumbed down all of us. And I still went forward with it. I didn't obey. I could have lost my job for it.
Just looked up docking on Urban Dictionary, and it wasn't what I was expecting.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
I think it might be funnier if I'll bring it up and you can read it out loud.
Okay.
So you will sharing it in real time here.
Man, have you? I the numbers of the show on iTunes and Spotify is blowing me away. What made me think of that is why it's important to read shit, because not everyone's watching. Docking,
Right.
a very intimate and intense sexual act performed by two uncircumcised men. I guess I could do it. Guy 1 pulls his foreskin back and holds it, while guy 2 stretches his open and outward as far as possible over the head and shaft of guy 1's penis. Then guy 1 repeats the procedure as he's releasing all of his foreskin that he has holding back tightly, pulling the opening out as far down as possible over guy 2's penis. Wow, it's like kissing penises. It's like French kissing of penises. Was there more? I wasn't done. Was there more?
I mean, that's the gist of it there, right? Do you want me to bring it back up?
I don't know. Foreskin's awesome, though. I'm sorry for anyone who had theirs chopped off. It's so cool. It's another one of those subjects that you want to see a fucked up movie. Like two things I recommend you do. You go to the PETA website and watch their 25-minute video on how meat is harvested. It's fucking brutal. If you can get through that in one sitting, that movie, I want to know. If you can get through that without crying, like I was crying so hard there was like snot pouring out of my nose. And then the other thing is you just go to the PETA website and they have like, it's like their video of like why you should be vegan or whatever, why you shouldn't hurt animals. Yeah. If you could find that. I watched it like 5 or 6 or 8 years ago. And then it's brutal. It's brutal. And then the other thing is if you want to see something just absolutely nuts, especially if you're going to have kids, you should watch the movie American Circumcision. And man, oh man, I didn't get through anything today on my list. I don't know. I thought I stayed. Oh, you know who I've been texting with is Sarah Sigmund's daughter. And the last text she said is that she wanted to come on the show Sunday. Sunday is going to be crazy. Sunday is so busy. Sunday, we already have 2 people scheduled. We have the news show and
Nick Rodriguez.
Yeah. When I was, I talked about that already. I have a note here, Sevan, stay calm. I was pretty calm today, right? As a 35-year-old man, I was circumcised last night. My doctor says, "Oh shit! Why were you circumcised at 35? That's so interesting to me." It's definitely if you're going to get circumcised, you want to do it when you're old. I do not know if this is true, but I read this one time. This is going to fucking break some of you. So you know that the body is basically just a bunch of the same shit over and over. The way your lips work, your nipples work, and your penis work, they all kind of work the same way. They fill with blood. The cell makeup is the same. There's these just different responses all over your body, and it's the same thing repeated over and over, or mechanisms. And one of the things that's fascinating is, your fingernails in your fingertips are super duper sensitive, and there's a layer of skin that attaches. It's like double-sided tape that keeps your fingernail attached to your finger. Well, that same layer of skin in a baby keeps the foreskin attached to the head of the penis. And when they circumcise the baby, it rips off that layer of double-sided tape that's on the head of the penis. Well, it's not supposed to take that off. What's supposed to happen is that membrane is supposed to attach to the head of the penis over time and detach from the foreskin and then live there for the life of the penis. And that's where like 80% of the nerve endings are. So if you're circumcised, it's like having that piece of tape that holds your fingernail to your finger together. Now, if that's true or not, I don't know. It's very hard finding stuff about this subject because no one wants to talk about it. Like not doctors, not anyone. It's crazy. Do you already know when Sarah will be on? I don't. She's told me like, hey, I want to come on, but it's going to be like a balancing act. She doesn't want to come on the days I'm talking about circumcision. So it's like we're trying to figure out what day that's going to be. That's another reason why this is called the Sevan podcast. This is just me living out my dream of trying to be funny. So there. But she said Sunday, and then we moved Nick Rodriguez to Sunday. And then she's also in a country that has a significant, I don't want to say where she's at in case she doesn't want anyone to know, that has a significant time difference than where I'm at. And so I have 2 shows already scheduled for Sunday. And then I have a jiu-jitsu tournament I'm taking my kids to, my kids' 4th or 5th jiu-jitsu tournament. And so then somewhere I need to come in and I need to ride the assault bike. So it's just a busy day Sunday. So, but I mean, I would do just about anything to have her on. I want to build that relationship with her. Sevan's dream is talking about penises. Then I am living my dream. Why, thank you, Melissa. Oh my goodness. Okay. Get a little note here. You know, when I was going to talk about Mexicans, whites, and blacks, and how the different skin colors say my name. My mom bought a truck. Oh, my mom bought me a truck. I was going to tell that story. Rain boots for kids. I see kids wearing rain. Good, thank you. I don't like any of my fallback subjects. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is this the Matt Souza show?
This is the Matt Souza show. Thank you for calling.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. It's Wad Zombie.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, I figure I should finally call in at some point, you know?
Yeah, I like it.
Instead of just hanging around in the chat a bit. But have you figured out if you're moving out of state yet?
No, I haven't. Hey, tell me about your meme account. What are you doing? You're really your memes are. You found they're not all over the place. You found a pattern and you're sticking with it. But I think you should go all over the place.
Yeah, I try to go all over the place, but you know, I'm more just anything that I see that kind of, if it strikes something with me, I'll do it. So I don't know. I'm not super creative, but that's why you don't see anything
about?
Like, well, I don't know. Like, you know, some of these guys will post like 10 cat videos and dogs and all sorts of kind of like cute shit. And I don't know. I just kind of want to explore the shit that no one wants to talk about when they're at the gym, you know, or at CrossFit or wherever they're at.
Like you did a whole, okay, that's fair. Like you did, I feel like, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but in my mind, when I think about your account, I think about your account is having basically always being like this. It shows like Danielle Brandon working out, and then it says how people act when they see Danielle working out, and then it's a movie clip. And then you do that for or Nick Urankar, and then you go back and you do that for Sarah Sigmund's daughter, and then you go back and you do that for Rich Froning. And I'm like, this is like, I think you can only do that one once a month.
Yeah,
I think you did your whole year's worth. I think you did your whole year's worth in a month.
Yeah, I kind of did, and
I'm not being. I don't want to be a dick. I'm because I really like.
No, that's totally fair. It's just, you know, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like if I make something and I think it's funny, I can't wait. I don't know. I get like super impatient, and so like sometimes I'll post like 6 things in one day, and just because like, oh, I made it and I like it, so I just want it to be out there. But
You're a
You know, a
two-pump
lot of
chump,
that-
aren't you? You're a two-pump chump, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can tell. You just, as soon as something feels good and it feels right, you're letting it go.
Yeah. I
You're
might
letting it
be.
go.
I might be all out of fluids by Christmas. I don't know.
My wife should have a talk with you, make you feel bad. Fix that.
But no, I mean, you know, and that was something that I stumbled upon by accident. Like I made one about, you know, Danielle Brandon, and then it kind of blew up. So I was like, oh, you know, let me see if there's any other way I could do this. And that led to the rest of them. But, you know, I try to go all over as much as I can, but, you know, it's also kind of hard because, you know, a lot of these guys will, you know, people who have meme accounts already, you know, you got to look and make sure you're not coming up with something that someone else has already done too. So
I'd like to see you just make memes making fun of that other meme account, the woke memes.
yeah, I try to take jabs every once in a while just because, like, I don't think people realize what they're getting with that, you know. But you know, I mean, because the stuff that I'm putting out there, it's not like, I mean, I know everyone else is thinking about it, you know, but like the other meme accounts, they just, I don't know, they put cats and dogs and SpongeBob and whatever. So I don't know. I don't want to do that. That's not funny to me.
Is
So
SpongeBob gay?
Yes.
For sure. Like,
I don't know.
why is the bad guy in SpongeBob the one-eyed pickle? Why?
But
No, seriously,
I
why?
don't
That makes
know.
that's not cool.
Wait,
The
who's
one-eyed
bad
pickle's
guy?
the good guy. He's totally misunderstood.
Yeah. And
That's
you know,
funny.
and like, I mean, just even the fact that you would like say that is just the total opposite of the woke, you know, bullshit pages. And it's like, God, I've never listened to that guy's podcast, but I can't imagine I would like even a minute of it.
My mom told me not to say anything if I have nothing nice to say.
Well, yeah. I just can't imagine what kind of conversations they're having on that podcast, and that they could be anything, you know, meaningful or thoughtful. But
I'm
that's
sure
just
they're
me.
of the highest moral and ethical integrity that would make
yeah.
every mom and dad proud of their kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
God
like, I
bless
don't know if you
America, and God bless Eric Rose's leadership for coming out and drawing attention to mental illness. Hang tight, affiliates. It's been 2 years. There's lockdowns and fucked up shit. But
Yeah.
as soon as I'm better, I will get back to steering us to the Holy Land. Thank you.
I'm just telling you, I like, you know, just my opinion. Obviously, I've never met either of them, but I think Glassman's got a bigger dick than Rosa does. I mean, you would probably know a little more. You could probably take a guess, but
man,
just a
Rosa's
guess.
got I mean, Rosa doesn't deserve a big dick. He got such a nice body. Man, he has a fucking nice body.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. I don't even listen to him when he talks. I just stare at his arms, and I love his head and his neck. I think he's a beautiful man. He's such a good looking man. He's got a great body. He obviously has an insane work ethic. His fucking, someone should accuse him of being on steroids.
That's probably why I don't like him. You know, Glassman was a little more relatable for me, and then they're like, oh, we got this new CEO for CrossFit, and you're like, oh God, this guy's fucking good looking
and everything,
God
and
damn
fit
it.
his shit, and he works out with his shirt off and shit. It's like, God,
yeah.
Gosh darn it. No, he really is a remarkable specimen, and he's no spring chicken.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just thought I'd call in and leave it to that. But
okay, well, keep up the good work. If anyone wants to send memes, do people send you unsolicited memes, and you're like, hey, can I post this? And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'll get some. Not a whole ton, but like I'll get some people that'll send me some like truly fucked up shit, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Can I post it?
Oh, cool, good.
And then, you know, and sometimes like I'll come up with something, but I can't like quite finish it, and I'll send it to guys like Taylor Self, and he'll be like, oh, this is a good caption for that, and he'll like help me out with it.
I like it.
And I'll also send I'll do the opposite. Like I'll find some that I think might be kind of messed up or a little too overboard, and I'll send it to people and be like, "Hey, is this too much?" And they're like, "Yeah, don't post that."
Send me those, please. DM me those.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll send you one that I've been debating for a while, but
Please.
yeah, I'll send you that.
Please, I'll give you my professional opinion. I ran the media company at CrossFit Inc. from when it was
Oh, you
basically
did?
300 affiliates to 15,000 affiliates. I have no peer in the business. Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right.
Boring. Do you know that that's one of the words I don't let my kids use?
Boring.
Yeah, they're not allowed to, like, they could say eat a dick. I mean, I would tell them not to, but they wouldn't have to like do burpees for it. Or like if I heard one of them say that guy's a bitch, like I'd be like, please don't talk like that. But they're not allowed to say boring or disgusting.
Interesting. Why?
I don't think they add value to the conversation. Unless, I mean, I just don't think they use. No, here's the thing: they don't use them appropriately. They don't use them appropriately. But that part of the show may have been boring. That may have been actually used appropriately. But my kids will just say it like, can I watch TV? I'm like, is it Friday? And they're like, no. And they're like, boring. And I'm like, 20 burpees. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, we couldn't say it because then you got put to work.
This is so close-minded. Oh my God, no more Sevan will. Oh my God, no more Sevan will ever go back to CrossFit HQ. Meaning, like, you think I did something that made it so that fucked up my job application?
Yeah, because she put this part too. She put, "Oh my God, no more hope. Sevan will ever go back to CrossFit."
I think you're totally wrong. I think they're so open-minded over there, and they see that my passion and my singular focus on making the world a better place that it can happen. Oh, please post those memes. The accounts won't post. Okay. One more. That's really disappointing to hear. So I'm sorry. What? What's disappointing? Did I have foreskin?
Oh, maybe that you won't go back to CrossFit.
Oh, I mean, guys.
People still hold on hope. It looks like Men's Health already picked up Rose' email too.
Oh, I think that was totally coordinated. Have you guys seen what that letter wrote? It's like, first he says, I printed it out. I was going to read it to you guys, but basically he sends this letter to the entire CrossFit team. And then I think Morning Chalk Up posted it, and then they reposted what Morning Chalk Up wrote. And okay, here it is. This is just nuts. This is what just makes it realize that it's just a marketing ploy. It's just not to say that he's not wounded mentally, but this just shows you that the whole thing is a joke. As some of you, this is dear team, as some of you may have noticed, I haven't been around as much as usual over the past few weeks. I wanted to share the reason why. I have been taking some time to seek treatment for depression. And then he defends his position. Nearly 300 million people suffer from depression, and COVID has accelerated this global crisis. First of all, of course, COVID has not accelerated this crisis. The response to COVID has accelerated this crisis, and you were part of that, dude. You were part of that. You helped that. You helped keep the shenanigans up. So don't fucking lie. That's just a fucking lie. There's nothing sincere there. The depression rates have tripled in the U.S. and suicide is 10th. Yeah. And do you know suicide is 10th leading cause of death? It's always fucking been like that, dude. And do you know who's getting it? Kids. And do you know why? Because of the fucking shit you supported from your fucking white ivory towers as the leader of CrossFit HQ. You have the cure to chronic disease and mental disorders and all that shit, and you let them shut you down for 2 years. Don't now like start playing this other side. It's such a bitch move. It's such a bitch move, and it has to hold on. And it's hit close to home for too many of us, including those. Now he's like bringing all of us into his shit. Do you know what? Do you know when people talk like that? Like they say, we all know what's going on, what Donald Trump is doing over there. And so now it's like, if you don't think like me, you're an idiot. So that's that kind of talk. Like you either agree with me or you're an idiot, including those in CrossFit home office, which really means HQ. You call it home office because you pussified it. Because for some reason you think HQ is, who knows? You think it represents military or masculinity? Anyway, including those in the CrossFit HQ following the death of Chad Payton earlier this year. Chad Payton was fucking in the military. He wasn't a fucking multi-millionaire, maybe billionaire, depending on what you believe, of a guy who sold this company to Oracle and then bought CrossFit HQ on a fucking whim during a fucking crisis. Like, what are you doing comparing yourself to Chad Payton? And I'd love to know if he asked Nicole Payton if he could do that before he did. Because what is she supposed to say? I really don't want to drag her into this. But what is she supposed to say? I'm going to, too late. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I work for CrossFit HQ, and they asked me if you can reference my husband who died, who committed suicide. If she says no, does she lose her job? If she says yes, is it what she really wants to do? I mean, and once again, now you're conflating leadership of a company where fucking tens of thousands of mom and dads, small businesses depend on your leadership, and you're conflating you being able to steer the boat with your leadership and social causes. This is fucking lunacy, people. Don't fall for this shit. While it is uncontrollable for me to be this while it's uncomfortable for me to be this transparent about my journey, unnecessary. It's uncomfortable for you. How do you think it's uncomfortable for you? How do you think it feels for the people who rely on your leadership? It's all relative, man. The only reason my penis is big is because I'm 5'5". It would not look big on Shaq. While it is uncomfortable for me to be in this transparent, dude, you're fucking, this is nuts if you fall for this. While it is uncomfortable for me to be this transparent about my journey, I don't care. That's not the place to say this. I've decided to discuss openly rather than avoid these tough conversations. Avoid you don't need to have tough conversations. You need to start working on yourself, dude. So my experience can help destigmatize. Oh, now you're helping that's why you're doing this. So that other people who are fucking have mental issues can now come out. I get it. Then step down. And foster healing. This is so twisted. This is so twisted. And of course, no one wants to come out and say anything because you can't fire the gay guy, you can't fire the black guy, you can't fire the tranny, you can't fire the person with mental illness, because then the woke mob will come after you. But let me tell you something. I would be willing to bet big money that the majority of affiliates are like, wow, like this is finding out. This is finding out when you're 14 years old that it's not been okay for your mom and dad to be beating you, or wasn't okay for your mom's boyfriend to be molesting you for the last 5 years. You're 14 years old and you just figured that out, and the next 2 years until you're 16, you're looking for an exit strategy. Your mom and dad have to be strong. Your mom and dad have to be strong. They can be open. They can talk to you about shit, but they got to be strong. Anyway, I really don't want to go into bashing him because you're capable of anything when you're in a bad state of mind like that, but he has people around him, and maybe he's used. Maybe this isn't even a direct hit at Eric Rosa. I mean, they replaced me with a fucking PR guy. I was a fucking media guy, and they replaced me with a PR guy. A PR guy needs there to be problems, or else his role is not needed. He has to have problems. PR guys do not thrive when there's success. So maybe he's just gotten bad advice. But it is just going further down the hole of the victim mindset. And don't anyone say, don't. Do I have a caller on? Do I have a caller on?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, it's Bob from Bob from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Bob. Jesus.
Was he on that whole time?
Yeah, I answered and I
didn't want to interrupt.
Sorry. Yeah. I know you're a good dude. I almost hung up on you. I was like, what is my phone doing on? There's someone calling. Sorry, Bob. I'm sorry. I don't, someone said the other day, Sevan, I know you think the vaccines are fake. And that just shows that like, you're just not listening. Like I 100% don't think the vaccines are fake. The vaccines are as real as like, as my hand is. And I don't think that there's anything funny or pleasant about mental illness. And I'm not saying that to like I feel sorry for anyone who has to deal with that shit. I'm not, and I'm not saying that so that you're like to cover my ass. I'm saying that so you won't conflate the two of what I'm saying between what leadership is, what the world needs from fucking one of the last true healing organizations on the planet to versus this guy's own personal issues. Like, we have to separate the two. This is nuts. And the fact that they're willing to conflate them is gross. It's hugely manipulative. Sorry, go ahead, Bob. Okay, then I'm done with that. All right.
Well, no, I like what you said, because I think it's kind of manipulative to make you seem stronger amidst your depression, to like use your own issues to encourage other people in almost like a self-promoting way.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe he wasn't going for that, but it's kind of what it seems like.
I mean, let me read this to you, Bob. Will wrote this. I have to go. Will wrote this. I don't see how putting this out there in the public of a forum could possibly be helpful for Rosa himself. It will just make people around him cautious with what they say, which compounds the issue. Of course, very well said. Obviously different for people close to him in his life, because they will feel comfortable navigating that relationship without thinking they're overstepping. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is, it's already probably a prison working in corporate America. And this just puts up another bar. I'm taking my kids to the skate park right now to surf with pro skater Josh. It's only been 20 lessons and I still don't know the guy's last name.
Josh Pro Skater.
Guy's YouTube station is exploding. When I met him, he had fewer subscribers than me. Now he's got like 50,000. Bob, is there anything else you'd like to say? I want to go to Sunnyvale with my kids.
Yeah, you go do that. I'll call in to get Colton Mertens back on sometime. I was like 45 minutes late to the show today. So
okay. Yeah. We'll do another one the next time a guest flakes on us, which is always once a week.
Good.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Bye. Susan, let me see what the fuck's going on real quick here. Where's my wife? Shit. Oh, I better just go. I don't want to go. I'm having so much fun. Oh, I'm not sitting down usually because I'm cleaning, so I don't have to clean everything at midnight. Oh shit. She's responding to
you about the UFC fight.
Yeah, about how I feel bad about how she are the kids ready to go? Excuse me. My mom must hate it when I burp on the air.
I would also like to make a prediction about the general topic of discussion today. I think the letter that Rosa put out, and I think the immediate news medias, like in the fitness industry, picking it up, is alluding to his potential exit as CEO. Like whether he steps down, whether they remove him, whether what. But I think this is building to that, and it's giving him a cover from the community. Because like you were saying earlier, if you step down due to mental health reasons, you've kind of put a safeguard up against yourself and the promises that you've made prior. And obviously nobody's going to hold you to that. So I just think stand by, because I think we'll be having a new CEO for CrossFit within the next 12 months.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on all that. Yeah.
Before I get to the skate park.
I also, going back to what you said about the other media chiming in, I think it's all coordinated. I have no proof of that, 100%. But I think the release, I think that they probably, like, they told they get together with I think that that guy who owns Morning Chalk Up and the PR guy at HQ are just like complete butt buddies. I think they work in cahoots to manipulate, and I don't think there's any honest reporting. I don't think honest to the point where not that they're lying, but I think it's all just massaged and coaxed, or at least 50%. It's a weird relationship. It's just, I shouldn't say all, that's too broad, but it's a weird relationship. And I'm sure the men's health thing, I would bet they knew a day before the CrossFit community knew, I would say, like, this is all just coordinated. If you knew what was going on behind the scenes, you wouldn't think that it had integrity or honesty. Now, if it did have that, like if Rosa was like giving a speech to the trainers and then he just started crying, like, or something like this, but this isn't like that. This isn't like impromptu. No, but which I don't care. Which I don't care if they're doing it, but then don't present it the other way. It just stinks to high heaven. We weren't raised like this in this company by Greg to be like this.
Yeah.
Sevan is starting to look like Uncle Junior from Sopranos. I don't know that show, but I like it. I was just, you know what, today I'm gonna be fucking cool today, and I just put on these glasses. Did you see the Morning Chalk Up disclaimer about the don't make any critical comments? Oh shit. Please tell me you're joking. Please tell me you're joking.
That was the disclaimer, but that's what I was saying.
Please tell me you're joking.
They've created a framework, and now in which you can't say anything negative about it, even if you're not talking about mental health and issues and you're only concerned with the leadership and future and vision of CrossFit, right? Like, you can't have that conversation anymore because you'll be pushed down by people saying, well, come on, dude, can't you give him some respect? You know how hard it was for him to come out and explain that he has these issues? And you're saying, look, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about his ability to lead in the mental state that he's in. And also, to that article that I was referring to as far as like media was actually Men's Health, and it came out 2 days ago, and I got this email from the affiliate email. I got it 2 days ago. So when you're talking about it being coordinated and released at the same time, that's very obvious just by the timelines. In the ironic part of it, the guy who wrote it, which nothing against him, but his title and like claim in his letters is all NASM next to his name. Which, if that's not ironic, I don't know what is. I'm not even smart, and I can see it like being played out like that. My default is just to believe and trust. Okay, love you guys.